Azazel's power. I will hold it in.
Hello, Wisdom Seeker here. Today I'm going to give you guys a basic guide with some new tips and tricks with Zafina. She is nerfed terribly, and no Zafina player should be even saying anything different. Based upon the legacy mechanics that we've lost and the tech that they took away. So, you see that? Okay. Now, basically, with your throw, that's no longer guaranteed. They could actually block the follow-up now. Now it's not set to guard all, but that's no longer guaranteed. That's what they took away. Okay. Also, your DB3, I mean your Tarantula move, Tarantula 3. Let me show you guys something right quick, because you guys may think this is a buff. Now, at -7, you can block 17 frame moves on 15 to 17 frame moves, but you can't block 13 frame moves, which is not that good, right? Right. -5. Right, so I'm -5 after Mantis DF4. They said you could block after, but if you're -5 to -4, you want to be able to block 13 frame moves, but you can't. So you're going to have to stay in Tarantula, right, in order to block 13 frame moves. Okay. But if you're -3 to -4, you might be able to block them sometimes. You understand? Let me try it again. Why is she not transitioning? Okay, so I was -4 there. So I was able to block. So anytime you're -4 to -3, you might be able to block if you're quick enough, all right? And then also, I want to talk about something else, that a buff that she got. There are a few buffs that she did get that are kind of interesting. So basically, when I'm in heat, if she goes, that's her sidestep, right? Remember how I said this move, your heat smash, is a homing move. So when people are trying to block out of your scarecrow presser, you actually have a homing move out of scarecrow. So that's nice. I mean, it's okay, right? And then for those of you when you're in heat, remember that you could also transition. No, wait. Into your lows. So you're gonna need to use a lot of this, and a lot of this. Because the reality is, what they've done with Zafina is you have to use in the neutral. I'm not talking about in stance, right? Yeah, you want to use your powerful moves in stance, but in the neutral game, just you being normal, you're gonna need to use a lot of B12. And, oh, wait a minute, hold on. What I meant to say is you're gonna have to use a lot of Scarecrow B12. Every move that you have in your anathema, that gives you anathema, you're gonna have to use, period. It's not up for debate. I'm not gonna describe every single little detail for you because she's been out for 8 days already, but you know that every move that you have with the Zazel, you're gonna have to use. And the easiest way to get into that, to use anathema, that's gonna give you your orb, that will, and this will, right? Because they could block, right? You're gonna have to go into like your Scarecrow manually sometimes to get this. Okay, so I'm gonna go over some strategy, guys, with you. I just want to get that easy stuff out of the way for those of you who don't have or don't want to use her. So basically, let's go into her DF1 string. So, or better yet, her high crushes. So, let's see right here. So as you know, I said before that F12 is a high crush, right? Wait a minute. You see that I'm crushing her highs. And it does work with jab pressure. See that?
It's over.
So this is a kind of like a panic move for highs, okay? You're gonna need to know how to do this, right? That's very good. So you have an evasive homing move now with B12, okay? And that's always welcome. And then also something else, when you use your Tarantula DF1, F2 is also a high crush at plus or minus 6, okay? Plus or minus 6. That should help you, you know, add pressure to your game, and then also some other high crushes or high crush setups. So FF2 that's DB4, okay, and then also your generic 4. So you're actually crushing things at -6. You understand? But those are some, you know, oh, then also your DB3, right? Now, it doesn't really work at close range, but at certain ranges, you could use your high crush after DB3. You understand? So let's talk about your DF12 string. Okay, so you could you already should know about this, that you can combo from it now. However, so if you delay it, that last hit is 8, okay? However, if you don't, the last hit is 4. Now, this is actually kind of good because let's just say you're in the neutral. You have to immediately land B12 or that move there, because it's very important to always be in anathema at all times. Because I'm going to show you guys some setups in a minute that you're going to need to use. So basically, you're going to want to have that available to you at all times. And the quickest way, as I said in the beginning of the video, you need to land this move multiple times in a match while preserving your health. Okay, and this move, that's also the quickest way to get into it. You may even need to like go into Scarecrow in the neutral sometimes just so you can land it. Okay. I may even do some gameplay just to show you. However, the interesting thing about this is, even though they took away your counter hit properties on DB2, right? It's a hit confirmable move. So, right? So that's actually guaranteed, you guys, now. Now it does not work, like if they block, see that? So that was all a counter hit combo, that was all guaranteed. Now, don't use this on block because you are interruptible. I do believe you're actually monster punishable, so don't do it on block. But on hit, it is useful and it does do significant chip damage. Okay. So in heat, if you go into heat, the damage doesn't change, but it still does significant heat damage, right? Which is always a welcome change. Okay, and then also, a tip to make this move more consistent, that blast she does, what you want to do, always go for, or you could go like this. Okay, always go for that to make your blast more consistent, because if you don't, it's not going to work, okay? So just keep that in mind with your DF121 string. And I do like to use it for wall carry. Okay, you understand? It is kind of, I do like this move. It does give you some good wall carry sometimes. But also, check this out. Now, your F3, I want to show you like a strategy here, a new strategy I haven't showed you guys. So, F3 is now nerfed, but it has, you know, less startup frames. Now, when you use F3, a lot of Zafina players don't know, it shifts the axis of an opponent's moves. It like throws them off if they should try to retaliate quickly. So let me see something here to give you an example. Okay, you see that? Watch this. So you're able to sidestep and to scarecrow most moves. And sometimes you may not even need to sidestep. This is going to be good for using your B1-2 and scarecrow. You understand what I'm saying? Because you could literally throw off their attacks and make it face a different direction, which is very awesome to me. Even though she's greatly nerfed, it's going to help you you understand? It also works with her other moves too, like see that?
It's over.
That's awesome. And also like major hopkicks like Claudio's up forward 4, you could block that too. Like if you go like this and sidestep, he'll whip, and it's very good for setting up your pressure, right? It's very good for that, and then also your see that? See how her moves are whipping?
It's over.
And I don't even have to like sidestep sometimes, but you're gonna need to use this to make sure, because a lot of people like to spam, like to mash after this move here. This makes it so you can protect yourself while still adding scarecrow pressure and evading people's attacks. You're gonna need to know how to do that. Period. It's not even up for debate. And then also, it's very good for after your +6 moves, right? Because it's faster, it's a frame trap, right? That's always a welcome change. So you could use that after your DF1 Azazel moves. Yeah, so also let's talk about some of your anathema moves. So basically, y'all, this move is unacceptable. It takes way too much health. However, you do get a launch if they decide to attack you after this move. Guaranteed. You see that? So that's actually pretty awesome. If they have the audacity to press anything after this lands, you get a free launcher. So you really don't want to be pressing in this move. Like at all. Okay? Now be careful, because sometimes it's -14, but if you do it immediately, FF3, it's actually a launcher now. Like your frames are so great, you could actually launch them for pressing anything, right? So that's pretty awesome. Now, the conception is that, you know, because you're, I guess, what is it? Let me see something here, put in the standing block. So basically, oh, let me send the backdash, my bad. So when you land this move, you can chase them down, right? If you dash and do B12, they can't backdash, right? And they can't attack you either. And then also, a buff that no one's talking about really. You see this move? Before, you couldn't dash, press, FF12, because sometimes this, while running 1-2 would come out, that move would usually come out. But now you could do FF12, right? And your while running move wouldn't come out at times. So that's actually a frame trap, right? Even though it's taking a lot of your health, there really isn't an escape from this, and you can't backdash after this move. Right, you have enough time to dash a little bit and make that guaranteed on block, okay? So that's an awesome type of move also, or a type of setup, or neutral trap, whatever you want to call it. And mind you, I want to talk about your, what is it? So remember how I told you guys, what is it? So that's awesome now. Remember those setups I gave you in Tekken 7 in that video I made about your combo reset after DF3-4 and FF4? You're gonna have to be very careful when you do this, right? You can, and that's actually a launcher now, right? So on wake up, you want to mix up with that, and also your Scarecrow DF1, right? But you're gonna have to time it to make them respect it. So, but that is a real setup, right? Now, mind you, because of the threat of being relaunched with DF1 or getting hit with your low, remember, if they stay grounded, that's also guaranteed. So the threat of, you're gonna be landing that a little bit more now since you've been buffed a little bit in the Oki, right? And I do have more setups. I may show them in the future. I don't know what they're gonna do with this patch, or if they're gonna reverse anything, I don't know. And then remember, keep this in mind. Let me go to their backdash. If they try to backdash it, remember, that's still in your arsenal. That's awesome, right? She still has some of her Oki tricks, which is gonna be of some help to you. Now, I wanna talk about something else. So, in terms of your spins here, this has a few powerful setups. I'm going to give you the basic ones because I don't want the devs nerfing my shit anymore. Like this was what they did to Zafina is absolutely unacceptable. And if you're a real Zafina main, you know that there is no reason why she should have got nerfed like this, right? Because she's like harder to use since season 1, but she's a little better since her debut, when she started. And I would know because I got her to halfway to God of Destruction without any buffs at all. So she's not worse than her debut, but she's still worse than season 1, okay? So I'm gonna give you guys some setups, because there's something very interesting that happens when you land your tail spins, okay? So when you go like this, hold on. All right, they set to back quick roll. Watch this. That is awesome. If they try to backdash or back quick roll, which has been buffed, right? I told you that your throws have been nerfed, where you can no longer get your Oki with this move here.
Amateur.
See that was never possible. Usually you'd always get that. She's had that for over 25 years, right? But they took the Oki away. Why are they taking legacy mechanics away? I do not know. However, when you land, that's what happens if they try to back quick roll after your move. It also, with your B3, 1, and 2, you could also use your B1, 2 in the neutral to catch them. That's good too, and if you catch them even quicker, the animation will look like that. That's what you really want. I'll try it again. See that? That is awesome stuff, right? That's a guarantee if they try to back quick roll. Now, if they do their Okizeme roll here, that's what you want to do. And then make sure you time it a little bit, so that way it lands when as soon as they get up, right? So practice the timing for your Scarecrow DF1. Also, another setup, remember that when you land this, you get like a slight buff to your moves that leave them grounded like that. And this, you get more damage with this than with that. You understand? So if you have your anathema, you can choose to, if you want to use it, you know, you can go for that. Now, there's another setup here that's very interesting. I wanted to give you guys, it's a basic Oki setup. When you land this in the neutral, right? That's pretty dangerous, all right? It also works for this. Wait a minute. Right now, here's what happens if they stay grounded. You need to know this setup. You really need to. So basically, That's very awesome. And people are going to want to stay grounded anyway, because this is now a launcher, right? So people don't want to be, you know, mashing or getting up like that anyway, because of the threat of your anathema moves.
It's over.
You could also do this after your heat dash if you ever
It's over.
oh wait, hold on. So if they backdash, that's awesome too, right? If they're back quick rolling, you can land this move.
It's over.
But you got to be careful. See how anytime you do your heat mechanic like that, you see how I'm changing my angle? The game does that randomly, so you have to be careful. If it does,
It's over.
go for that. If you're at the back angle, like, you know, I switched over to a little bit to the side, you can always just go for that. But if for any reason they start back quick rolling after that move, that's what this is for, to catch back quick rolls, which is going to help you. It also works for this. See that? So that's a new setup that you guys are going to have to use. And, you know, instead of that, it depends on, you're going to have to read your opponent with the Oki and see what it is they're trying to do, okay? So that's it for now, you guys. I will be back because I have to give you guys a new balcony break setup, because that's been buffed to my awareness. But I will be back. Thank you for tuning in. Have a nice day, and I will see you soon.